Welcome back, folks. Dow finished down 245. We had the Nasdaq up 116. S&P's down 26. Let's go over to our man, Mr. Basil Chapman. And don't forget, folks, every trading day right here at TFNN, 12 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. Basil has an outstanding show. He also has a great newsletter, The Opening Call. Now, tomorrow night, 5 to 6 Eastern Standard Time, he's going to be doing a workshop for his subscribers. You can be a subscriber right here, right now. The way you do this, you come over to our website at TFNN. You're going to see right in featured content that man, Mr. Basil Chapman. You hit that opening call. You can subscribe. You can go for a month, 6 months, or a year. Each one of them come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. You have absolutely nothing to risk. Bottom line, you'll be in that workshop, and the title of the workshop is The Chapman Wave Tools That Help Identify the Market's Last Top and What to Expect as we come into the new year. Now, this workshop, folks, is going to be a 90-minute workshop. If you can't make it being there, don't worry about it. Why? Because we're going to have it on your page. You can, bottom line, go over it as many times as you like. Basil Chapman, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Well, you always do workshops at the right time. We get volatility, man. Holy cow.
Yeah, this is a very good time because it's, you were just talking about it. This is very important because we saw that flush that came in while you were on the show, went down over 500 points, closed just 245 points down, but it's been doing this for about 7 sessions. It's had intraday moves to the upside, sharp move to the downside, then a rally back, and this is really, when you talk about a flush, when you talk about hammering out a bottom, this is exactly what I'm going to be talking about. What's going on here? What is working and what is not working? And this is very important in the sense that I've been talking about daily charts. You can see on the left, here's the daily chart. The Dow, we went short just the very day after the all-time high, 26,951. Next day at 26,790. We went short. We're still short. I didn't want to change that position. Even over the weekend, when I went through, I couldn't even tell you how many charts. But most importantly, what I was looking at was how the daily was impacting the weekly chart, and how those weekly charts have been starting for the very first time to really impact the monthly charts. And that's going to be the big issue. Is this a time now to just grab a whole bunch of stocks because they're down 20% or so? Or is this a time for base building? Should you be careful? There have been leading indicators to me that foresaw, and that's exactly what I'll talk about tomorrow. I'll talk about how I've used the moving averages, how I've used this little doji candle, one of the little, I only use 3 candles altogether in a whole panoply of candlestick charting that I consider to be very important, and I usually have a technique that I've developed over the years for each one of them. But also I use the moving averages. I use a particular thing called, there are patterns that I look at, like the H pattern. In my CD introducing the Chapman Wave methodology, I have a whole thing, one chapter called, we call it the dreaded H, because if the left side low bar of a lowercase h gets taken out, it can keep going down. Look what happened in this particular bar. It kept going until it might form a bigger arch pattern, and we can see that right here. This is the pattern that we're looking for. It looks like a lowercase h. I like to make things as simple as possible, so I'll be talking about these particular patterns. Importantly, we're looking at the different sectors. I spoke to you earlier in the year. I said, the IWM, the Russell 2000 is not acting well. But for me, the big thing was the benchmark of the semiconductor index, which is, think about it. Chips are in everything.
Sure.
I mean, there's just nothing that doesn't have chips. An automobile today is made up, I read the proportion, I can't remember offhand, but it is a huge number of semiconductor chips. All right, so what we're looking at is in the semiconductor index, it's just been coming down with that lowercase h pattern, and then it made a very big arch formation. We're fortunate we've been short. The SMH is still short. Even over the weekend when I was looking at these charts, I said, we have got into these positions at such good levels that I don't know how we'll be able to repeat that if the market does continue to go down. And the SMA, in fact, the particular vehicle we had from what we bought at 1175 and the SOXS today, it was up. It hit over 16, went to 1665 from 1174 where we were in. That's over 42%.
Nice.
This is, it's nice, but it's, in a bear phase, you can be right and you can be making money, but it's not nice. I mean, you really want bull phases are more fun. Everybody's enjoying it. Bear phases are just terrible. So what we're looking at is the patterns, and you can see there's that arch formation, and that's what we'll be discussing. I'll also be talking about the relationship that I'm looking at of the dollar, which is holding very well towards the highs. Didn't break out today, but there's this cup formation that's the exact opposite of the arch that I'm looking at. So in the cup formation, you want to see a decent break. We haven't got that into the 97s yet in the dollar. If the dollar fails here, will gold, if the market continues to be weak, will gold be found as really a fear factor? Well, then, the gold stocks, many of them have held very well. So that's something I want to discuss, the relationship there. I'm going to be talking about the VIX index. I sent out a little missive about, I think it's about 2.5, 3 weeks ago on the volatility index. My reading, I call them the Chapman Wave rules. I'll be discussing that tomorrow night, and it is an hour and a half. It's 90 minutes because there's a lot going on. And every single day, my newsletter goes through exactly what we're looking at using the Chapman Wave methodology. It's it gives you parameters to look for, and it also gives you the different wave counts in terms of the Chapman Wave methodology. So it's very thorough, and that's what people will get, for a month for free, besides the workshop, which is going to be very important for timing.
Yeah, so the way you come in this workshop, folks, it's real easy. Come over to our website at TFNN. You're going to go, you'll see featured content right there. You just hit the opening call. You can go for a month, 6 months, a year. Bottom line, all comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. You're going to get a great workshop, going to get a great newsletter for the coming month. And bottom line is that, what's so intriguing, Basil, is that, of course, you got a lot of these companies, even the big companies that are still going to be coming out with numbers. So we'll see. Bottom line is if they just sell them away when they're coming out.
That's what, I developed what I call this cash index, and that's been, I've spoken to you about this. I said, hey, the Fed just needed to look at my four letters in in my cash index, which is CINTAS. Oh, I just typed cash. It should be CTAS, CINTAS. I mean, that's overalls and uniforms. Isn't that important? Look at the smash to the downside. And Amazon is invading every single medium, right? So Amazon down from 2050. Today it hit 1495. Look at that monthly chart. And that's what I'll be talking about tomorrow night. These monthly charts, you got to respect them. This is the first whopper of a red candle that you've seen. Anything can happen in the next 2 days.
Look at that candle on the candle on Amazon, folks, is sick. Al, if you can just put my Bloomberg up for a second. It's sick. I mean, it's like it's down 500 points in a month. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's with volume. That's
with volume. That's with, it hasn't broken. The MACD is still good. Stochastic still at 90%. But look at the candle testing the 14-period moving average. It hasn't even touched that 14-period moving average since it broke to the upside back in 2014.
Yeah, incredible. Big number. Folks, come over to our website at TFNN. You're going to go into featured content, the opening call. Bottom line, hit the subscribe. Month, 6 months, a year. 30-day money-back guarantee. You'll be in the workshop tomorrow night, 5 to 6:30. Basil, have a great one, safe one. Of course, look for the show tomorrow as well as the webinar tomorrow night.
Congrats, Red Sox.
Yes, go Red Sox. They made it. We'll come right back, folks.